Alright, hello everyone! Welcome to the Newcomers Mania World Cup 2025 semifinals round. As here we're going to be having a match between two teams, Philippines A versus Vietnam B. It's honestly really crazy to see that Vietnam B is seed number 9. That's crazy, having two extremely strong Vietnam teams across the board. Honestly, it's really awesome to see how powerful a lot of these countries have been. And I would say the same for both of these countries, Philippines A and Vietnam B, both having strong teams enough to make the semifinals round. This is honestly really impressive to see. Actually, come to think of it, I do think this is the second match for both of them on the losers bracket. At least I know the Philippines played a match. It was against Malaysia B, and Vietnam B actually beat Malaysia A. So it's actually two matches there against both Malaysian teams, which I do find very interesting once again. Looking at the statistics though, there seems to be... I just think that both teams have a chance to perform okay, like regardless of what's gonna happen. However, I'm not sure who I'd give the edge to actually. Just because this seems to be, at least from how I think, in face value, it could be close. But I don't know actually. So we have our first warm-up here. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. This is Lively Peninsula, also known as Solo Skiles, going to be your commentator for this match. I'm honestly really excited to see both of these teams perform at their very best. And I do hope to be able to see some really cool stuff. Because if I were to look at team performances, Philippines A performed at number 4 in the quarterfinals round. And if we were to look at the team map leaderboard, which we could actually take a look in a bit, so, I think joining with me in this, in the commentator booth is none other than O'Reilly. Hello there, how are you doing today?
Hello. Welcome everyone, hello. Hello Ricardo.
So, I believe O'Reilly is your name on OSU, so okay, let's let's go to the statistics first. So we have your Philippines A performing really well in the long note and hybrid. I mean, historically, even in Mania World Cups, Philippines tends to be oriented towards the long note side. So it's really interesting to see the same trend here in the Newcomer Mania World Cup. However, the Rise seems to be following up. Once again, a similar trend with the World Cup teams that we've seen across the board. Although their SC score seems to be also holding it back. Actually, they're receding across all of the stages. Now, let's proceed to Vietnam B, I think. Okay, yeah, let's proceed to Vietnam B.
Okay, let's go to Vietnam B. And they're on P9, and as we can see, their rise is very good, but it's basically like the opposite of Philippines. They have good rise, but question mark Ellen and Hybrid 2. So this is gonna be a very interesting match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be like it's going to be like an opposite battle, at least from how we're looking at the statistics here. So it's going to be cool. It's actually going to be really interesting to see how these two teams perform. Although if I were to look at Malaysia, how Malaysia, Philippines, and Vietnam, Malaysia play together, if you actually look at their protects, Vietnam in that match against Malaysia A protected Hybrid 1. Philippines versus Malaysia protected Ellen. So from the get-go, you can already tell they tend to protect. It's like a hybrid or Ellen bias in terms of protects. However, I have a feeling Vietnam will change their strategy and maybe protect Rice this time around because they definitely seem to have an advantage here. I mean, if you look at the match between what do you call this again? Philippines versus Malaysia, I think Malaysia did protect Rice once, so I have a feeling Vietnam will do the same, protect something Rice oriented.
Practically, definitely Vietnam will protect Rice 1. That will be their blessings.
I guess you could say that. We're just trying to see if we can even show the ropes here. If not, that's fine. I mean, if I were to look at these statistics on the teams, I mean, Philippines has a good Rice force score. I mean, actually higher than Vietnam here. And that's a 20,000 point difference. However, I just don't expect, or at least I don't expect Vietnam to ban Rice. I would expect Philippines to ban Rice. I mean, if you look at Rice 2, Vietnam actually slightly edges them out there, having a higher score than Philippines by 4,000 points. And yes, we're talking about Vietnam in Rice 4, Philippines 1 against Vietnam. As I say that, I'm just comparing statistics side to side. Philippines actually beats Vietnam B on Rice 6. So it's actually very interesting. So we're just seeing some trend where there are some charts where Vietnam wins, there are some charts where Vietnam doesn't. I mean, in Ellen, seems like Philippines has the edge against Vietnam B here. Okay, so we have some interesting statistics right here. But the problem that I have is we don't know if both teams will have the same sort of physicality, and that's going to be my problem. So if, let's say, Philippines A falls off a bit, I think Vietnam B may have a chance. Anyways, okay. So we can't really, we're not able to view the chart right now. However, I am really interested to see how these two will perform, these two teams.
This might lead to a tiebreaker, which everyone hopes. Because again, teams are very opposite. For example, Vietnam goes to Rise and Ireland goes to
I mean, yeah, sure, in the qualifiers you could say that, but in the quarterfinals round, you can tell that Philippines can win on some rice charts. I wouldn't necessarily call it the opposite just yet. I mean, I did say that I would think Vietnam will change their strategy and probably pick the rice this time around, but there's so many other factors that could come into play. I actually do believe the Philippines may have had some missing players in the qualifiers. I could be wrong for this, but at the same time, I don't know. Okay, here we go.
Alright.
Here's a warm up. I don't know if this is the first or the second, but look, Vietnam and Philippines, like Philippines A versus Vietnam B. I believe this can be close. I agree with you in there. I just don't know how the physicality aspect will affect today's performance between these two teams.
Okay, we will see throughout the match whoever wins then will be proceeded to the finals bracket.
So I can give an example, okay? So Neo Genesis, like we saw Neo Genesis, I'm not sure which chart this is, at least in the category. It's probably like, I think it's Rice, is that? Okay, this Rice. Philippines is at 2,939,000, while Vietnam is at 2,934,000. So that's a 5,000 point difference around there in Neo Genesis. So just from there, we can already see that it's going to be close. And then we actually see anti-hero being played by both teams as well. Philippines actually has an advantage over Vietnam here. Philippines having 2,917, Vietnam having 2,872, so that's a massive advantage there. It's a very interesting thing. So you can see some charts could be close, some charts could be far apart. We can also check other charts. Let's see which other ones they played. Okay, they played Abyss of Destiny as well. Actually, the Philippines has an advantage on Abyss of Destiny as well. And it's actually really significant. It's actually really significant. I think it's around 100,000 point advantage. So you can already tell some charts will definitely benefit Philippines A, but I can expect Vietnam B to contest on a lot of these charts.
Everyone is everything match right now is very consistent. It's like on balance.
I wouldn't really say unbalanced, or at least I wouldn't really say consistent either though. But there's definitely a lot of factors that can affect someone's play here. I guess consistency isn't something I'd say, because if it was really consistent, then we would see very close scores for all of the charts. But that's not really the trend that we're seeing. Because of the skill level of these players right now, you're gonna expect that there's gonna be big differences here and there, and how they play every day. Especially when you're at the rank like 25,000 and above, I believe that's the rank range. This is where you're really just starting to build your fundamentals for Mania. So I'm not really expecting so much of a consistency here. But I can expect these players will definitely give their everything. At least to try and contest a lot of these things. I mean, with this warm-up alone, you can already tell accuracy sort of benefits the Philippines A team. I mean, sure, Vietnam B doesn't have a third player, but just looking at the players that are present, they definitely have an accuracy advantage right now. Now, as time passes on, still around the same accuracy, so the line I missed there doesn't really matter. Accuracy does.
So big.
It is a big difference, but once again, you gotta remember one of the players accidentally quit out or something. It could have been a disconnect. We don't really know.
It's a disconnect.
Alright, so So now, we'll see what's gonna be the order. I have a few. Okay, so Vietnam wants to protect first, so that means they will definitely be picking first. It's actually something I've always wondered. As a captain, I'd want to consider if I want to pick first or pick second. And sometimes picking first can really take so much pressure on you. Because if you pick first, the pressure is on you to win your own pick at the very first one. Instead of like, the pressure is being on the opponent. That's gonna be a really interesting strategy. You may want to pick first just because it also allows you to protect and ban second, which also gives you a strategy in that one. It gives you a slight edge on that. But the pressure factor is really what I'm concerned about in Vietnamese side. To being protected by hybrid protected by Vietnam. So hybrid is Abyss of Destiny. Now that's an interesting tech because I already said before the Philippines actually has an advantage with that by a lot. Although I have a feeling maybe this score wasn't really accurate on how they normally play because I'm looking at the miss count, 34 misses. That's probably uncharacteristic of full there. I think they're backing on really good performances because the Philippines has quite an advantage on this side, even on the 200 count alone. And Philippines A, I think they should not protect New Genesis. Maybe they can protect Anti-Hero. They have a pretty big difference in that.
Protect LN1.
So they're protecting Love Potion instead. Which is a very interesting idea. Okay, I guess to be fair, you wouldn't want to protect a hybrid when the opponent also protected it.
Ban SP. This is gonna be interesting. An SP ban.
It is interesting indeed. It seems like the Philippines is happy to have the SP chart banned. So, okay, let's see. Philippines will probably ban Neo Genesis. That's my guess. My guess is either Neo Genesis or maybe 365. Actually, not sure. I mean, they can also opt to ban Hybrid 4 again. Like before. At least I think that's what they banned against Malaysia. Yeah, that is what they banned. So it's either Hybrid 4 or Rice 1. That's gonna be my guess.
Yeah, they will probably ban Hybrid 4.
Yeah, they need to decide on a ban immediately because they are running out of time. I really think it's Neo Genesis. Okay, so no, they're gonna stick to Your Voice Leads Me Everlasting Future. So if I take a look at the Vietnam Malaysia A match, I don't think there's a score here. Okay, yeah, there is no score, so we can't really judge how good this is. But it seems like Vietnam is kind of upset with the ban choice, probably indicating that the Philippines struck gold in this ban. I think I would have to agree with this.
This is gold.
Hmm. I mean, Philippines A will have to put. Wait. Wait. I thought Vietnam was gonna put first. Okay, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Okay, so if the first pick is Philippines A, I actually thought Vietnam was gonna pick first, or maybe I was in the wrong step. Okay, my bad if that's.
Hybrid 2. Ooh. Alright. This one is gonna be coordination hybrid.
Hmm, it's gonna be a hybrid pick. I mean, we've seen what do you call this again? We've seen Abyss. I'm trying to remember the name of that. We've seen Abyss. I think it was Abyss of Destiny, and I think Philippines actually has an accuracy lead on that specific hybrid. For this specific pick, though, wait a minute, we're just dealing with some technical difficulties. Please bear with us for a moment.
Question mark moment when it comes to the technical difficulties. So that's our fault. My bad, twins. Alright. We are in.
Mm-hmm. Well, the laser isn't really showing the correct map, but this is the correct one playing on stream. So
The laser is showing the wrong map.
let's have a little of a bit of a reminder of this. The pick I believe is I think it's hybrid 2. Wait, is it hybrid 2? No, it's not. I don't think it's hybrid 2. What chart is this again? Sorry, could you please remind?
I think this is hybrid 3 if I remember.
Okay, anyway, that's besides the point. There is a big advantage right now for the Philippines.
I lied, it's hybrid 2.
So it is hybrid 2.
And as of the moment, we're like we're halfway through and the lead is going to the Philippines.
Both sides are really consistent actually. That's the thing that I think can really still give it away because accuracy wise, Philippines A has a big advantage. Well, the miss from Yosuke will definitely affect that. But here's the problem with a chart like this, especially with the time that's left. There's not really going to be a lot of breathing room. So these players will have, even though let's say Vietnam B holds a triple full combo, I just don't really see any chance of coming back here. Only because the patterning seems to benefit the Philippines a lot more. You can already tell from how the long notes are mixed with rice. Seems to be that this is something the Philippines can go for. And even though Chen Tanga missed at the end, it does not really matter as just like that, the Philippines A takes the first point. So Vietnam had a really good consistency. In fact, for most of the chart, they had the better consistency. If you look at the ratios, it isn't too far apart. But the 200 counts is what gave it away. That's honestly gotta be my concern. If Vietnam B can't lower those amounts of grades, then that's gonna be troublesome, especially since there are two other hybrids left in this pool.
And like the Philippines, all of them hold a 99 accuracy, which is very good when it comes to their side. It shows how strong they are when it comes to hybrid or LN.
Hmm. So Vietnam B has a choice. I believe Vietnam protected the. Oh, what do you call this again? They definitely protected the hybrid as well. I forgot which one. Or if they didn't, please correct me wrong, because I actually forgot. However, Vietnam probably should avoid the hybrids or even the LNs right now, and might want to try something like Neo Genesis, because like what they said before, they had the 5k advantage. It isn't too big of an advantage, but it's a lead nonetheless. So I think Vietnam B might want to try Rise 1 and hope that they can set the tone, but instead they're going Rise 2. MA, if you take a look at the Vietnam Malaysia match, they actually had a 2895 2895 total score. That's the team score. However, the Philippines has a 2954 score at that day. So I'm not sure what the strategy here is. I think they're trying to hope that the Philippines misses like once or twice or even more times, because Vietnam, had they not missed, they would have had a much better score on this chart. So definitely they're gonna be banking on the Philippines missing once or twice.
And will be a speed map. But from what I've seen on the map itself, is that it's just like a single stream that are like fast, so it won't be that of a problem for both sides.
I mean, it's clearly a sort of a problem if, let's say, consistency is going to be an issue with these two teams. And I just think that while Vietnam missed like 4 times, two from two players, and Philippines had a triple combo, once again with charts like this, you can really expect, what do you call this again? You can really expect big differences to happen.
Oh, what? Interesting overlay.
It doesn't matter. As long as we're able to see it, it's okay. So here we have the correct song. So it's MA. You did say this is a speed chart. So I think maybe Vietnam is trying to do something entirely different, which I understand. I mean, you lost to the Philippines on a hybrid pick, so you maybe want to try something rice oriented. Again, fair. The qualifier statistics shows that Vietnam has a massive advantage. But again, not entirely sure yet, because right now, accuracy-wise, Philippines certainly has it. The thing about speed is it's so easy to rush these patterns, which can lead to misses, and that's probably why those 4 misses happened in the first place for Vietnam B. But and as I stated right on cue, those misses,
Alright.
it's very easy to make those kinds of mistakes. So even though the Philippines has the advantage right now, it's definitely not safe yet. There's so many opportunities for rushing or mistakes here, and you need to stay focused, otherwise you will really fall behind or rush too much.
And we're like halfway through the map, and the lead right now is on the Philippines by a small gap. Everyone is holding a full combo on the Philippines. Meanwhile, on Vietnam, they're holding a very good accuracy, but the lead itself is still on the Philippines.
And the problem is the fact that even in accuracy alone, Vietnam has a disadvantage, while Philippines is comfortably on the 99.5, 99.6 range. That's definitely going to be a problem, because even if the Philippines like misses, it's not going to be as massive as, let's say, Vietnam missing again. But right now, as long as both teams keep the pace, it's not really going to change the result too much. This is like a 20,000, 30,000 point lead. The Philippines try to stay afloat while Vietnam trying to play catch up to the Philippines here. Time is running out though. We'll need a full team miss from the Philippines, but that's not gonna happen as they take the first break point of the match. Aidan with the best ratio, but Browse with the best 200 count. Honestly, the Philippines ratio all around is just better than Vietnam's, especially on the 200 counts too. Actually, all of them having a better ratio than the best ratio of Vietnam B, which is in Phuca's side. Still a great effort. Actually, if you look at that 150, it could have easily been a miss, but that was a clutch effort from Phuca to ensure that they keep the full combo. Very good effort all around from every player here. That breakpoint might be massive because that can set the tone. Because if both teams just win on their own picks from here on out, Philippines are going to win. But anything can happen, and big differences are just really normal for charts that have a few amount of object.
This is amazing.
I'm not sure what the Philippines is going to choose. So it's going to be hybrid 1. So it's going to be hybrid 1. I mean, okay, two more Pele Legends. So I think it's a good pick because the Philippines did win on a hybrid try. So it's a fair pick in my opinion.
A hybrid one. Pioy Legends. Oh my. Will they win the Ura Finals? The Ura Finals.
I mean, this is the finals weekend, so I can't even say that right now. These two teams need to focus on trying to do their best to make it to the finals weekend.
I think this is like a G1 race. This map requires speed, power, and stamina. No width.
I really do hope that Vietnam gets a team that is able to perform the best, because I believe one of them is still downloading. Okay, great. So the download has finished. I just don't want to see what happened here. I don't know exactly how that happened in the RT or in terms of picking. So I mean, both teams have been performing pretty okay. I'm happy to see that both teams are doing their best and giving their everything in here. And that's really the most important part. Now that the Philippines A is up 2-0, but Vietnam B's definitely not out of the picture yet. As long as they can keep their consistency at the higher level and probably reduce their grades by a little bit, that would really help Vietnam B a lot, because it's definitely not over yet.
On your marks. Set. Go!
And so here we go.
Alright. Let's see how this goes.
On your marks.
But that 200 from or 100 from Chin Tanga and Gamer Chris might be massive, even if it's at the very start. Because again, with charts at this level, you have generally lesser objects. So that means that a single 200 will mean more. Because it's gonna be a bigger difference as you have lesser room for error. So that's why you see those big differences happen more. Because a single mistake can lead to a big difference. It's just like that, Curiosity finding a drop. Even though Gamer Chris's accuracy is behind everyone else by a pretty big margin, this lead will go to Vietnam B very soon. But they need to increase their accuracy fast. Because as you can see, the Philippines A is ahead in terms of the average, but those couple of 200s may have given Vietnam B some breathing room. Wong has been leading the charge for Vietnam B, leading in terms of accuracy, but those 200s from Chan and Gamer Chris is definitely giving it back to the Philippines A. This is massive. But Ryosuke finds another drop! You gotta remember, this is the Philippines' pick. So I am naturally getting nervous here because those two misses will matter so much. Because even if Vietnam's accuracy isn't the best, as long as they can keep that consistency, they will definitely have a chance to steal a breakpoint from the Philippines. There is a lot of emotions indeed. Who is going to take the lead here? It's just a back and forth battle. It's just literally, it's just between neck or nose at this point. That's literally what this is. But I think the Philippines' accuracy is just more than enough. Check!
Oh my!
That will seal the deal. The Philippines has
another
essentially
win.
taken it. Wow, Vietnam was so close. It was just a hair of a difference. But that one miss, the accuracy was way too much. Honestly, Vietnam performed extremely well. Vuong takes the MVP. Very good performance, getting the best ratio, the best 200 count. But unfortunately, that miss sealed the deal. It almost came to Vietnam B. That was so close.
It was neck by neck. I was shivering.
It's definitely not over yet. Vietnam has shown that they can take some points. They gotta capitalize on that. I really think Rice wants the way to go. We've seen Philippines underperform, or at least perform worse than Vietnam B. So I think Vietnam's gotta choose something like Rice 1. There we go, Rice 1. This is the correct
Oh
pick to
my!
make.
It is Rice 1. This is gonna be very interesting.
This is the pick to make because, yeah, what we're gonna say, go ahead.
A stamina map. Nothing but consistency. It all depends on the ratio. And one miss, and the thing will be changed so much. So they have to pick carefully on the players. This might be the blessings for Vietnam because the Kita blessings.
I actually don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Mainly because the Philippines has been more consistent, but we've seen Ryosuke like crack a little bit. Although they're replacing that with DPPs and I think Newcomers is coming in. Vietnam B will have Wong staying, but then Shang and Gamer Chris will be replaced by Fuka and Nina UK. I agree with this roster because this is the same roster we saw in I believe it was NA and Philippines A were the same. But a problem that I have is, let's say we get the same result As last the past few charts. Philippines A will definitely have an accuracy advantage overall, but with a pick like this, at least I'm trying to see what really won them this. You have to remember, the previous results showed the Philippines having an accurate advantage. But with something like Neo Genesis, because remember both teams actually played this, I think Vietnam can actually get the accuracy advantage this time. Because, yeah, they had the better tournament count. But it was just those misses, really, that made it closer. But had the triple full combo happened in Vietnam B, they would have been a much bigger difference. So right now, the problem is if the Philippines, let's say, gets better tournament counts, I think Vietnam is in trouble. Because the Philippines has been the more consistency in piece today. But I wouldn't be surprised if Vietnam charges better in this chart compared to the previous one.
Brawl's holding the highest accuracy on the lobby right now with the 99.68.
Accuracy-wise, indeed, Philippines A is slightly ahead on the weight of Browse and Milk, leading out Fulcom, while Dignity is able to keep up with the Vietnamese players. The thing about this is, like what you said, it's a test of consistency. You see jump stream patterns all across the board. So this is one of those charts there. The overall patterning, it is really easy to accurately hit overall. But if you drop even a single time, it's gonna be hard for your team to catch up because the other team's chances of missing or getting lower accuracy is lower as well. You gotta see, by the way, that I don't think Dan X is present in this match because Dan X was one of the players in the previous match. Yeah, everyone is definitely playing well.
Oh!
No, that can't be.
No way.
That could have. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. You do not want to miss on the break section because the break section is the part where you have the lowest chance of your opponents missing. This is where usually everyone increases their accuracy. So you'll have to hope that the Philippines starts missing a lot more. Like you have to hope for a team miss at this point. Brow is still leading the charge on the Philippine side, but Vietnam is not out of the woods yet. It's only like a 20k point advantage, and now that we're at the combo cap, this will only take 2 misses from the Philippines for Vietnam to have a shot again. It's not getting closer, unfortunately, just because of the accuracies of the Philippines being overall higher. But it's getting closer. Actually, it is getting closer accuracy-wise. The problem is, again, that one miss from Wong may have sealed the deal unless the Philippines finds a massive drop of their own.
Oh, Luna finding another drop. This lead will be very big to the Philippines. And we're almost done with the song. After farther away through. This is not worth it.
That second miss from on Vietnam side for Luna definitely isn't good. Philippines' accuracy, I think Browns is actually performing much better. This is much better. But Milk finds a drop. Let's see, can the Vietnam catch up? There isn't really enough time though. And those 2 misses were too much. Actually, Vietnam wasn't too far off from their score in the previous match, but the Philippines outscored by around 10,000 points. That was enough. More than enough. Browse with a 497k. Really impressive score. And Fuka as well with a very impressive full combo. 985k, 987. But it was the supporting cast that really gave the edge of the Philippines, for the Philippines even more.
That was scary and intense to watch despite how long the song is, which is like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It's mostly on the consistency and one drop can affect so much. LN1? Alright, LN1. This is going to be releases.
Very interesting choice actually. So is this going to be an Ellen choice for Philippines? I mean, we've seen the hybrids that they definitely can take advantage of those Ellens in the match, so I think I like this pick. Alright, so let's take a look at how both these two should play common release oriented pick. So Aidan, Rozaki, covering that, Bros here. And we're gonna see Chen and Fuka here. Gamer Chris probably here to try and hold the full combo. Gamer Chris has shown exceptional ability to hold those combos, and I think that's something we really need to take note of.
And once again, good luck to all players.
Alright, so we're just going to be waiting for both teams to be prepared. Alright, so we're just waiting for both teams to get ready here.
All right. Banjo moment? Yeah, it is banjo moment.
We're just waiting. We're just waiting for everyone to get ready here. No big deal, really.
Alright, we are in. And keep in mind, this is a release map, which can be very hard. And oh, Kuka finding the first drop.
Not to mention the accuracies are heavily favoring the Philippines right now, especially since everyone there is reaching about 98%. I mean, these Ellen releases are not exactly an easy skill set to learn. I think it's one of the hardest skill sets, even amongst the top players. So it's no surprise that these players can find some difficulties. Although I think that's two misses already from Vietnam, like two players missing already. Gamer Chris trying to be that anchor, holding everyone together in the combos, but Ryosuke's also missing. Although, yeah, that's gonna be difficult because that's a full team miss from Vietnam, while Browse is still holding. Either finding a drop, but once again, it does not really matter too much. Oh, that's two misses in a row. Wait a minute.
The score gap is getting bigger and bigger, but it's also getting smaller. And we're halfway through the map. The score could change any moment now.
Alright, so yeah, this is gonna be a bit difficult to recover, but Browse is the only person holding combo. Again, the accuracy difficulty for Ellen releases is definitely, like what I said before, one of the most difficult things to learn in Oceania. Rosaki and Fuka trading misses, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. The accuracy advantage alone is way too big for Vietnam to overcome. Browse holding the full comp, the only one is giving wonders to the Philippines. But just from here alone, I think this is just going to be a really difficult task for Vietnam. Chien finding one more drop, that will seal the deal. The Philippines is gonna take a fifth point. Browse with the full cover, the only one, 979k, 14 grades. That's insane. Vietnam B had like a really good effort again. Gamer Crisp 910k. That is really good, especially at this level. Chintanga, Fuka maintaining those 97s, really impressive alongside Ryozuki and Aidan getting those 98s. Those are really impressive scores, especially again at this level. You gotta, I like I'm telling everyone, Ellen releases are some of the most difficult skill sets to learn, and it takes a lot of patience to learn those. So it's a very good sight to see all these players able to play these charts.
I am surprised Frost with that accuracy, 99.35, and it's also full combo. I test played that map and I got a lower accuracy than that, so mad respect to that person.
So it's gonna be honestly a good decision. I think Vietnam really needs to take some time off to really decide on what to choose.
They have to think very carefully because one wrong pick and it will be over. It's either the Vietnam team will go for check or dump.
Okay, Rice 3. I agree with that choice. I think that is probably the choice to make right now.
Rise 3.
It's definitely not over yet, by the way. Vietnam can still win 5 points in a row. I want to remind everyone something. As long as a team has not scored 6 points, nothing is over yet. We've seen massive comebacks happen. In the world stage, like OWC, in a lot of tournaments, we've seen those kinds of comebacks happen. We've seen reverse flips happen. So it's definitely not over yet. This may be 5-0, but this can be 5-1. And then 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, you name it. Nothing is definitely over yet. And the last thing that Vietnam B would want is any sort of discouragement. Because honestly, as long as the team hasn't scored 6 points, nothing is over yet. Just I really think it's still possible for Vietnam to make a comeback. So you gotta really be on the lookout.
There's always hope and always a chance to get a point. So please don't lose your hopes yet, because there's always a chance.
Yeah, go all in indeed. It's not over. nothing's over yet. You always have to remember this. Nothing is over yet. I'm pretty sure Vietnam is choosing this because they're confident that this is the pick that would probably bring them a point. Okay, so Vietnam trying to get the third player here, just deciding on who playing. Okay, Vuong, Fuka, and Luna EK. I think this is the valid pick. So everyone's just getting ready for the match. This could either be the final pick of the match, or this could be the start of a potential comeback for Vietnam B. Nothing is over yet, and I think Vietnam B should know that.
We are going in.
So let's see what's going to be happening here. Browse with the 200
Oh.
early on. That's gonna be massive, at least for the meantime. I mean, it's not gonna be the biggest factor, especially since it's still early on and the multiplier isn't too high yet. But with the technicality of this, I think they're gonna be hoping for Philippines to miss once or twice. But Vietnam has found their dirty misses too, so I'm not sure if this is exactly the pick to make, but especially with nothing to lose at this point, you might as well take a gamble. And now that the accuracy lead is on Vietnam's side, this could be the pick that leads them a step forward. But again, like what I said before, Vietnam was the team to find more misses, especially with Browse dropping to a 98. The technicality is definitely affecting the accuracy of the Philippines right now, but it's getting closer and closer. We're seeing 200s from both Vuong and Luna EK, but Fuka is putting in all the effort to plead them, while Vuong and Luna are keeping them afloat. Aidan and Dignities are trying to play catch up. Browse is also trying to lift the weight that they have on their shoulders because the responsibility of being the lowest accuracy in their team definitely means you need to give up. Browse with the miss. That's gonna be massive. Vietnam has the lead. This last part, I don't think there's any more difficult sections here. Can they hold a full combo? We're still seeing some grace notes here. But I think that doesn't. Vietnam may have taken the first point on the board, and there it is. I think they have done it.
It is.
Oh my god, that last miss from Luna EK doesn't matter. It was way too late. Just like that, Vietnam is on the board.
They did not get sweep. Oh my days. The amount of grace notes affects so much people. But then on the Vietnam side, everyone is very consistent, holding the 99 accuracies. LN2. This is going to be. Oh wait, never mind. Wait, it is? Yeah, it is LN2. This is going to be density.
This could work because of the accuracy alone.
And I hope everyone practices this map.
We're just gonna be waiting for both teams to get
Alright.
So let's see. This is gonna be the ticket.
This could be it.
Here we go. I mean, we've seen before that accuracy-wise goes to Philippines, but those two misses from Fuka is definitely not helping. I mean, I think from this density pick alone, there are some elements of release to it where you have to ensure that you're able to accurately release efficiently. And that's the thing with some of these density picks nowadays. They really have a lot of assets on focus to it as well.
Everyone is doing so well. Boca is recovering their accuracy, but it's not going well. Finding another drop.
So it's really gonna be bad because again, accuracy-wise, the average accuracy is so much better in the Philippines. Chientanga also playing a draw. These density, the Ellen density is really a difficult kind of chart, so you can't really falter for that. Gamer is holding a full combo alongside the rest of the Philippines is very impressive. You gotta give a lot of credit to that. Again, these kinds of charts are not easy to be consistent on.
Cordia is big, and draws finding the first miss on the Philippines, but it's not going to change that much.
Alright, so yeah, those misses will really prove to be very costly. Because especially because the Philippines is also dropping in that accuracy, but it draws only the only dropping, and Gamer Chris is the only full combo here. I don't think there's gonna be enough time to even make up this difference, and those misses have really helped. Have really hurt. We also can miss that leaves one full combo each to both sides, but the misses are just way too flaky from the Vietnamese side.
Fields and Ryosuke holding the highest accuracy on the match right now. And I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness! Like these, gotta remember, like these two teams are doing well, especially for the skill level that they're at right now. So Galen, Chris, and Hale's holding full combos is actually insane, and the accuracy is all across the board, like 97, 98. No full combo from Hale, so it's just gonna be Gamer Chris holding the potential full combo, and that's actually really impressive. A full combo from Gamer Chris. Really good job, and yeah, I just really want to commend that because consistency at this level is really impressive. You gotta give props to them on that. Philippines did win 6-1, but that was still a great effort from the Vietnamese side.
GG, well played to everyone on the match right now. Everyone did their best, and I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm. It's still a great. It was still a great run from Vietnam B. I mean, they are seed 9. I think this puts them at seventh place, so that's definitely still an overperformance. That they did much. They did better than what their seed states. So still a great performance from Vietnam B. Congratulations from Philippines A for winning and advancing to the finals weekend, I believe. And for Vietnam B, still congratulations for putting up a great fight. We hope everyone in this team, everyone from both teams, enjoyed the time in this tournament. Is there anything you want to say before we end, Morale?
I have no words to say, but all I can say is just GG, WP, and yeah.
Alright, as for me, thank you so much everyone for coming to the stream. Thank you, Morale, for commentating. Thank you, Average HD Player for streaming. And Pilot for referee. This is Lively Peninsula 59. Co-commentating with me is Morale. And if you want to look at another matches happening, don't forget to move to Newcomers NMWC25, as we're going to be having United States A versus Vietnam A facing each other, as Vietnam A is ahead 2-1, taking a break point from actually the same pick right now, Volstein Bear. Good luck to both teams, and that's all from now.
Once again,
Goodbye.
congratulations, and goodbye, everyone.